This court is going to call cause number 23DC-FM-0956. This is in the District Court of Jefferson County, Texas, and it's in the interest of Declan Thompson. Mr. Thompson, Ms. Thompson, and Mr. Levine, please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You both. Ms. Thompson, raise your right hand again because I didn't hear you swear the oath. Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
there you go. Thank you. All right, you got it. You're good. All right. Mr. Slett, do you have any other witnesses besides the parties?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you call your first witness.
Okay, I'll call Ms. Thompson. Ms. Thompson, what is your full name?
Raina Pilar Thompson.
And what is the name of the child that we're here for today?
Declan Omir Thompson.
Who's the father of that child?
Jasper Levin.
Okay. Did Mr. Levin take a paternity test to establish his parentage of this child?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, the state will offer the genetic test results as State's Exhibit A in this case.
Ms. Thompson, I've just placed on the screen a copy of the alleged DNA report results for the child. Is it okay if I look at the reports?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Levin, I want to make sure I'm saying, is it Levin or Levine?
Levin.
Thank you. I apologize for mispronouncing it. Mr. Levin, I've just put on the screen a copy of the DNA test results for the child Declan Thompson. Is it okay if I look at the results?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit A are admitted into evidence. Based on the admission into evidence of State's Exhibit A, the court's going to find that DNA testing has been completed as per my prior order. And then now they've been admitted into evidence. I'm going to find that the alleged father in this case, Mr. Jasper Levin, is found to be the biological and now is named to be the legal father of the child Declan Thompson. Go ahead, Mr. Slett.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, Ms. Thompson, who does this child live with?
Me and my parents.
Okay, and how long has the child lived with you?
Since we were born in February.
Okay, and was there ever a time where Mr. Levin lived together with you and the child?
No, sir. I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay, just Ms. Thompson, just make sure you speak up a little bit so we can hear you. Okay. Okay. So who makes the day-to-day decisions for the child?
I do.
Okay, and what about the big decisions?
So far, I do.
Okay. Does Mr. Levin exercise any visitation with this child currently?
No, sir.
Has he ever?
No, sir.
All right. How is the child currently covered for health insurance?
He's on Medicaid.
All right. And are you asking this court for any retroactive child support?
Yes, sir.
All right. When did you tell Mr. Levin that he could be the father of this child?
When I first became pregnant, and then I told him when he was 3 months old, when Declan was 3 months old.
Okay. So you told him once when you became pregnant that he could be the father, and then after the child was born, you told him again, maybe 3 months, maybe when the child was about 3 months old?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did he acknowledge to you that he was the father of the child that time?
No, not necessarily.
Okay. Has he ever provided you any money for the support of the child?
No, sir.
Has he provided any other type of support, any diapers or formula, anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay. Does Mr. Levin know where you live currently?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't hear you, Ms. Thompson.
No, he doesn't. I believe he doesn't.
What would your concerns be if your address was in the court order today?
You don't have pleadings on file for non-disclosure, Mr. Slett?
Okay, never mind then, Ms. Thompson. Okay, I'll pass this witness, Your Honor. And
Call your
I'll
next witness.
call Mr. Levin. Mr. Levin, you heard Ms. Thompson's testimony. Have you exercised any visitation with this child?
No, because I never knew about a child.
Okay. When did you become aware that you might be the father of this child?
When I got a letter in the mail from y'all.
When was that?
Mid-December of this past year.
Okay. Okay. So, according to you, Ms. Thompson never told you when she was pregnant that you might be the father of this child?
She, we basically had a one-night stand, and she told me she was supposed to, well, I was very adamant about her taking a Plan B, and she told me that she was not ovulating. And so when the month came up, she said that she possibly might be pregnant, but she said she had an abortion and there was no kid. And she said, I have nothing to worry about. And I never heard from her again. She told me to go live my life.
Okay. All right. Mr. Levin, do you have any other children?
No, sir.
And what do you do for work currently, Mr. Levin?
I work for a contractor.
Okay. What type of work do you do?
Basically, cut yards.
Okay. How much do you get paid doing that?
Probably about $600 a month, something like that.
Okay. Do you get paid maybe by the hour or maybe by the yard, or how does it normally work?
About a yard.
Okay. All right. And so when you get paid by the yard, would you split, do you maybe work with a crew and maybe split it with the crew, or how would that normally go?
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. So how big is the crew normally?
3.
Okay. Is it always 3?
Sometimes 2, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, just depending.
All right. And about what would you charge per yard?
I don't know because I'm not the one charging. I just do the work.
Understood. Okay. But you're saying you make about $600 a month cutting grass.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Then don't register. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Thank you.
Okay. What other forms of income do you have?
That's it.
Okay. How long have you been cutting grass?
For the past 2-3 years.
Okay. And you don't have any medical insurance available through this job, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Mr. Levin, do you live in Jefferson County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That's all I have for this witness, Your Honor. I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Mr. Levin, I've got some questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
34.
Have you been cutting lawns all your life?
I dabbled and dabbled in different things, and yeah, this is what was available for me.
Okay. Do you own your own home? Do you live in an apartment?
No, sir. Sir,
Where do you live?
in a house that my parents own.
Okay. Do your parents live there with you or live by yourself?
I live currently by myself.
Okay. So there's nobody else in the household with you since it was a house owned by your parents and you got it?
Yes, sir. They
Okay.
let me live here.
Okay. Have your parents passed and they left it to you in the will, or they moved off somewhere else and they gave it to you?
No, they live. No, they gave it to me to live in.
Okay. And do you have lights there? You have electricity?
Yes, sir.
Who pays that bill?
They help out with it.
Wow. You have a car?
Yes, sir.
Is it paid for?
Yes, sir.
What kind of car is it? Your make and model?
It's a Mercedes.
And what year?
12.
Okay. So you've got an 11-year-old Mercedes.
Mhm.
What model?
550.
Okay. So you're driving about a $45,000 vehicle.
No, no.
Really? Might want to go look at the blue book on that, Mr. Levin, if it's a 550.
Well, you can.
No, I don't need to, Mr.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Maybe way back then.
I don't need to, Mr. Levin. I know.
Okay.
Okay. See, here's the problem that I have, Mr. Levin. I'm trying to figure out how a 34-year-old man is living on $600 a month.
My parents, sir.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if your parents are helping you make your bills, I guess your parents can help you make your child support, right?
No, they're not gonna do that.
What is your light bill more important than this child?
No, what I'm saying is,
But that's exactly what you just said. By saying what you just said, you're telling me, the court, that this child is not as important as your light bill.
No,
said.
That's not what I said.
It is what you said.
No, you didn't give me a chance to answer.
But it's a simple yes or no question. If your parents are going to help you pay your bills, they're not going to help you pay your child support. How am I supposed to insinuate anything different? Don't interrupt me, Mr. Levin. So you got a big shovel in your hand. You see it? And every time you say something, you just dig yourself deeper into this hole. And what I want you to do is start filling the hole so you can get out of it. And stop trying to beat around the bush about what you are or are not going to pay in child support. Okay? All right. So you got a car, you got a house, your parents are helping you with the light bill, and you make $600 a month cutting lawns.
Mm-hmm.
How many lawns you cut yesterday?
9.
How many lawns you cut Wednesday?
9.
So you're really not cutting lawns, right?
There's no grass.
Yeah. But you've been doing this for 2 years, and grass ain't grown in this county in about 4 months since we hit our dry spell.
Yeah, I've been cutting on and off.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Ms. Thompson, I got some questions. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Make sure you're speaking up so I can hear you, okay? All right. So, Mr. Levin said that y'all had a very short, if any, relationship. Do you agree with him?
Yes.
All right. Did you have a conversation with Mr. Levin about what to do in case you were pregnant?
My computer froze. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to try to get you to turn your video off so I can just hear you.
Okay.
There you go. Can you hear better now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Mr. Levin said that you and he had a conversation about a possible abortion or something to do in regards to this child after you thought that you might have become pregnant. Do you remember any of those conversations?
Yes, and I still have the messages.
Okay. Did you agree with Mr. Levin that you were going to take a preemptive medication?
No, it was a few days after the intercourse that he told me I should take a plan B.
All right. Did you agree with him that you would take a plan B?
No, because I just thought that my cycle was coming on from.
Okay. And then you did find out at some point later that you were pregnant, correct?
Yes, sir.
And did you and Mr. Levin discuss an abortion?
We did, but I was in Louisiana and I didn't even have a abortion clinic to go to.
Okay. But I mean, did you tell Mr. Levin that you were going to get an abortion and he wouldn't have to worry about it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, now we got a baby, right, Miss Thompson?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Levin is the father of the baby, right?
Yes, sir.
And now I got to give Mr. Levin rights to the child. He's got to get a chance to see the child, right?
Yes, sir. I understand.
All right. Obviously, there has to be a phased-in visitation period where Mr. Levin gets to know the child, but I at least have to try to give him the framework that he needs to be a father to the child, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Levin, you understand that I want to give you visitation rights so you can get to know Declan and start to be in Declan's right. You understand that's what I'm trying to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you want those rights?
Yes, sir. There's only one thing though.
What's that?
Recently, I have a restraining order on her, so she can't even come near me.
I guess y'all have to meet someplace for the exchange and the visitation.
Yeah, the Judge Freeze, said that she can't come near me.
Okay.
Yeah, she assaulted
Well,
me.
I guess that's going to make it real tough for you, Mr. Levin, to be able to be a father, huh? When did you get the restraining? When did you get the restraining order from Judge Freeze?
The other day.
Okay, so surely, I mean, after you knew that the DNA test results came back and you showed that you were the father.
Well,
right?
it was before that.
Okay.
Yeah. She assaulted me.
I'm not worried about I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about trying to give you an opportunity to be a dad, Mr. Levin. That's all.
I understand. Yes, sir. I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a restraining order, but not a protective order.
Yes, sir.
When was the last time you actually talked to Miss Thompson, Mr. Levin?
We don't talk. We're not supposed to talk with each other.
I mean, up until Judge Freeze signed a restraining order, there wasn't anything legally prohibiting you from talking to her, right?
Well, when we did run into each other, it didn't turn out great.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, answer.
That's okay, Miss Thompson. No, because I have to work around the restraints that are put on me, and I know that there's a restraining order in place. So, I mean, there's no doubt about that. My question is what am I going to be able to do to get around it? And don't know what I'll be able to do. So I'm just going to figure out something else. So, Miss Thompson, for the supervised visitation that I'm going to grant Mr. Levin for Declan, who do you want to supervise? Because it can't be you.
My grandmother.
Does your grandmother live with you?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Does Mr. Levin know where your grandmother lives?
No, sir.
Okay. When I go offline, though, you'll be happy enough to give Mr. Levin that information?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll do that in my courtroom, but not over the broadcast over the internet. Okay. Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Thompson, is there anything else that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
At 3 months, he was able to meet him, and then afterwards, he tried to go ahead and claim Declan as his son without even having to do the DNA test.
When was that?
This was like last year in maybe November or December.
Okay. Is there anything else that you think I need to know about the case, Ms. Thompson?
No, sir. I think that's.
I can't hear you, Ms. Thompson.
No, sir. I think that's all.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Levin, is there anything else that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
Your Honor, that's not the truth. I didn't even know what the kid name was, to be honest.
Okay. Well, whether it's true or not is for me to decide, Mr. Levin, but I'm happy to
Right.
hear your opinion
Right.
about it, okay?
Right.
All right.
No, sir. There's nothing else.
Okay. The court's going to find that the court has jurisdiction in this case. The court's going to already made the finding that Mr. Levin is the legal father of the child. I'm going to find that it is certainly not in Declan's best interest to name the parties as joint managed conservators. Ms. Thompson will be the sole managed conservator of the child. Mr. Levin will be a possessory conservator of the child. There will be a domicile restriction in this case as per the local rule. There was a question in regards to non-disclosure, but for the record, non-disclosure was not pled in this case, and therefore it cannot be a matter of the ruling in this case. Mr. Devon did point out a restraining order. Will have to be what he has. It should be more than ample enough to take care of any issues that he may have. I'm going to find that it is not in the child's best interest to give Mr. Levin standard possession. I mean, I've got a young child. Mr. Levin's never had any contact with the child. So there has to be a phased-in visitation schedule. It'll be 12 visits at each phase, Mr. Schlett. All visits to take place or the exchange of the child will always be at the home of the maternal grandmother. And we'll get that specific information once we go off the record. I'm going to find that Mr. Levin is voluntarily underemployed. His child support in this case is going to be set at $300 a month. Ms. Thompson will be ordered to maintain the health insurance that she currently has on the child. Mr. Levin will pay an additional $25 a month in cash medical. All payments beginning November the 1st of 2023. Any request for retroactive child support is denied. There'll be no retroactive child support in this case. I will also find that Mr. Levin will be responsible for court costs, but I will give him until April the 30th of 2024 to pay my court costs. Mr. Schlett, does that take care of all the issues that are before me on this case today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Levin and Ms. Thompson, what's going to happen now is the state's going to send me a court order. As long as it matches what I said here today, I'm going to sign it and I'm going to get it back to them. Then they're going to make a copy of it and send it to each of you, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Levin, you got any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Thompson, you got any questions?
No, sir.
All right. We're going to go off